Welcome back. As you know, I've been playing through the bots on chess.com, and I was going through the 1200 bots, and I went on to what I thought was the next one, and that was the MrBeast-Bot. It turns out he's only rated 1100 on chess.com. I don't know what the actual person is rated, but the bot's rated 1100. So it was a little bit of a downslope for me. And anyway, this was the most unpredictable bot that I've played so far. I won 9 games, lost 1, and tied 1. The reason that I went 11 games is because the loss came fairly late, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a fluke. So I went on and played some more. I'm going to shrink that and put it right over here. I had, as I said, the most unpredictable bot of all the ones I've played so far. In these 11 games, I think we played 11 different openings. When I was black, we ended up playing the Kali system, the King's Indian attack, Queen's Indian defense, Indian game, Nimzo Indian defense, Nimzo Witch Larson attack. And when we were white, we did the Queen's Gambit declined, 2 different styles of London system, Tory attack, King's Indian defense. So yeah, it got a little crazy. Also, the number of moves, which is, if you've seen my other bot videos, you've noticed that I've been keeping track of the moves. Now, I have changed the graph a little bit. Each column is for one bot. Over at the left was the first one versus Tomas. The white column is the average number of moves in the games versus that particular bot. And then the taller orange column was our longest game, and the shorter purple column was the shortest game against that particular bot. So as you can see, I've been averaging just over 50 moves per game across the board. With Mr. Beast, my average number of moves went up, actually. But as you can see, our longest game was the longest game, over 100 moves. And our shortest game, 16 moves, was among the shortest games I've had with any of these bots. So it was wild, went back and forth. Sometimes he played really good, sometimes he played really badly. And perhaps partly because of that, my blunders went up. Now his blunders, as you can see, 2.4 or higher than any previous bot, more than any previous bot except Tomas. And my 1.4 was almost as bad. Maybe I got lazy because his moves and play was so erratic, or maybe it confused me and I went crazy. I don't know. Regardless, I'm going to show you a couple of highlights from a couple of games to show you how this bot went. Hey, there we go. There's a board. This is the game that was only 16 moves, and I'll show you what happened. Switch tabs here slightly. Okay. He went for this, and instead of playing what I had intended, which is the London, I decided to play. No, I didn't decide that yet. First, I decided to go ahead and play with the London, but then I was like, you know what? When this setup starts here, I think it's a good idea to put a bishop here. If he moves this pawn out, which is normally the next move, then the knight is pinned to the queen. If he just fianchettos normally, and my bishop is here, I can put my queen behind it, and then move the bishop over, forcing a trade of this bishop. I've seen that. But anyway, that's what we did. I went ahead and put the bishop there. He went ahead and fianchettoed. And the computer calls this move not great. But I was able to push the bishop down. And instead of trading, which I thought he was going to do, he just backed up. So I just took it. Figured we'll just get that out of the way right off. And now he's not going to be able to castle, which was the whole point in this setup here, which is to castle behind this and have a strong bishop, guarding this diagonal, having a knight controlling the center, and the king tucked away safely. But now, if he recaptures with the king or the rook, I've ruined that castling over there. So this whole setup of his was for nothing. I've got a major piece out. I'm controlling the center, or at least partially controlling the center. But then he didn't take the bishop. This is crazy. It's like, I'm going to attack the queen right there in the middle. So I moved my queen slightly safer spot. And it says I should have taken the pawn in front of the king and just left my queen there. I don't know. But anyway, He still didn't take the bishop. So I moved it there, threatening the rook. He didn't move the rook, so I took the rook. It was as if the bot had a complete failure of all its processes at this point. And then he's just moving these two flank pawns, apparently with no purpose whatsoever. I put a knight on an outpost square, and yeah, I do plan on moving my queen in there. He just brought his knight back, and I don't know why I did that. Honestly, can't say. He put his knight back. I went back there. I don't know what else he could do at this point, but that definitely wasn't it. I just came in closer and check. Oh yeah, sorry, we're back up. Oh, I had mate in one right here. Yeah, I missed mate in one, but still, we got to check. He moves back, and then that was checkmate. So 16 moves, just because the bot like completely forgot to capture my bishop. I don't know if you remember a month ago or so, maybe 2 months ago, I played some bot that was just didn't notice one of my bishops, and it went around the board just killing all the pieces. And in this case, that seemed to be what happened with my dark squared bishop down there. The next game did not go so well. Now, I've already skipped ahead to move 41 in this game. And I, playing with the white pieces, have the advantage. And right here, what I'm looking at is that this knight is basically hanging. He's got pieces all over it. I do have some rooks lined up coming down here toward the king. And I guess what I thought was that his knight is not guarded. If I'm going to lose my knight anyway, why not just go here? And that, you know, we'll either trade knights, or he will try to protect his, which would give me time to protect mine. I guess that's what I was thinking. The computer says my best move is to come here. That's what the engine says is my best move. And I'm not sure exactly why. That leaves this pawn hanging. Okay, I know what it is. It traps this rook, doesn't it? Okay. Not really traps. But the rook can't go here because of the pawn. Can't go here because of the knight. Here because of the pawn. It's being attacked here because of the knight. There my rook would take it. And there my bishop would take it. So its only choices are to come forward or capture the bishop. Okay, well that's why it said to do that. Basically it would force this, and I would have this huge advantage, and he would be down a rook. But anyway, that's not what I did. What I did was what I said, which was seeing that his knight was hanging, I did this. Well, now I lose it switches from me being +4 to me being -6. And I guess the reason is he gets a free, well, 2 free pieces. Yeah. So this missed win, as the engine calls it, was, I mean, that's just a big blunder, maybe a double blunder, because now I've got 2 pieces hanging. So yeah, he takes the bishop. I get the knight out of danger. Now the bot continues to make mistakes, but I don't think I ever gained the advantage again. Yeah, he forks my rooks here, so I'm going to lose one of them. Who knows why I did that. Saved one of my rooks, lost the other one. And then this, so now he's up a full rook at this point. And I'm just going to click through here. Can I turn off those mistakes? Can we just do that? All right. There we go. So I lose my other rook. So now I'm down 2 rooks. The game is over. Any reasonable, normal person would have resigned here. I've never claimed to be entirely normal. So I just kept playing. I thought, you know what? The bots don't resign against me. I'm not going to resign against the bot. So I just kept playing. And look at this. He refuses to take this pawn, even though he's got it. So I thought, you know what? Maybe he's just going to let me get a queen. So okay, there he took the pawn. So I had to move out of check. So I just started moving the pawn again. There he got behind it. You know what? I'm just move it again. I moved it again. He didn't take it. He's not putting me in check. He's not taking my other pawn over here, which he could easily do. He's not coming in to take this pawn, which he could easily do, or trying to checkmate me. There, he he says check. But now this is move 62. And watch what happens here is I move down to prevent this checkmate. But he just does that, and we keep going. You see this, right? He's not checkmating me. He's checking occasionally, but not checkmating. Now we're on move 79. 80. Then I think maybe the bot's just going to let me repeat moves and stalemate. But then it doesn't repeat moves. So we go to a new position. I think maybe it's going to let me repeat moves again. But then it doesn't. 95. 96. 97. Nope. Every time we repeat moves once or twice, then it does something different to avoid the stalemate. Okay, now I don't have any other pieces. I'm just going to move my king around. Then finally, the bot begins to check me, and we get a checkmate. But that was 105 moves. So anyway, I wasn't going to play Mr. Beast anyway because he's 1100, and I meant to be playing the 1200s to finish out and then move up. But I did, and it was kind of fun because it was so unpredictable, and we had some wild games. I came out on top, and then I returned to the 1300 or 1200 bots on my way up to 1300. So thanks for watching.